the big boys play.
Professor Chong predicted all this already? Oh, shit. We're cooked. All right, getting back to situation monitoring, folks.
Commanders in the IRGC, for example, Ahmed Wahidi or Aziz Ja'fari or his assistant Hussein Ta'ib or Muhammad Baqir Qaliba. These are all people who were the men around the new Supreme Leader when he wasn't the Supreme Leader. So the decision making is smooth among them, and it's supposed that the Supreme National Security Council and the Foreign Ministry are the ones conveying the answers. So other than that, there are no signs that there is a fractured leadership here in Tehran.
Ali Hashim, live for us there in Tehran. Thanks, Ali. We're going to go back to Mike Hanna at the White House. Mike, just before we do, I just want to point out our viewers to the top right-hand corner of the screen there. That is the current price of Brent crude at the moment. It's sitting over $100 a barrel. It's been moving between 10 and it was up to about 19 at one point. You can see the figure ticking up and down there. This is an indication, of course, the kind of level of uncertainty that the world has with regard to, even though we have a ceasefire extension, there is speculation that talks may be carrying on, and nevertheless there is this uncertainty which is being reflected, at least in part, by the energy prices. Now, in terms of domestic politics, how long do you think Donald Trump can continue all of this? What are analysts telling you from the States?
Well, the oil price is certainly felt by Americans at the gas stations, but it goes far further than that. A diesel plays an important part in the transportation of everyday goods, and the price of those goods are rising incrementally as this war continues. It's a deeply unpopular war within the United States, and the polls indicate that President Trump's own personal standing is the lowest it has ever been, and probably the lowest of any president. One poll puts him at 30% favorable.
Abdullah Sayed or McMorrow or Haley Stevens?
I've actually served with two of the members. I actually think that they all are very interesting. I'm not going to endorse.
But do you think is there one of them that you think would do better, have a better chance against Mike Rogers than the other?
I think that it's really important that we have a pragmatic leader.
Oh my God, Jake Tapper wants to get an endorsement against Abdullah Sayed.
A farmer
so
should be
bad.
welcome at the table. People who I pray next to in mass every weekend, they should be welcome at the table. And I'm actually really watching to see who has the leadership characteristics to actually do that instead of say they do that.
All right, Congresswoman Kristen McDonald-Rivet, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. New concerns tonight about what could happen to the more than 1,000 Afghans who served alongside U.S. forces. That's next.
I'm feeling more confident about the future after reviewing my choices with Voya. Have you updated your workplace?
God, Jake Tapper. Yeah, I'm just like MAGA. But also I'm the supreme leader of the Democratic Party. I can't believe he's still going. It's crazy. I really thought he would have given up by now. It's actually kind of crazy that he's still doing it. I'm Islamophobic now? Wait, really? Cool. No shade, but you didn't have that kind of motion. And they seem to want to make that a reality. Is weird. I have moderate motion. I've never said I have a crazy motion. I just have maximum aura. Okay? But here's the thing. And yeah, this is not slander from the Democratic Twitter account. This is the same guy who wrote that article, Ethan Wolf, John Fetterman enjoyer. This guy is fucking insane. He hates Zohran Mamdani and shit. But here's the thing. here's the thing. I don't have like crazy motion or whatever, but I can, I guess, like move the needle in the right direction. But I don't know why they talk about me this much. I genuinely don't get it. I think it's got to be Dems seeking New York swing seat defense, embracing extremists who said Hamas 1,000 times better than Israel. Democratic county chairs denounced candidate for normalizing anti-Semitic racism, misogynistic rhetoric. Yeah, they're coming after like everyone that I've aligned with, but I guess like they see me as a entry point into like attacking the left. That's what it is. But and this clip will be on Fox Sunday.
Corporations, because they steal quite a bit more from their own workers. However, one thing that
Hassan Piker discusses being pro stealing from corporations
might even help your ethical dilemma is the fact that the automated process that they designed, these companies know will increase shrink, right? So it's actually factored in. The lemons that you stole are factored into the bottom line of these mega corporations regardless, and they still end up having increased profit margins because they no longer have to pay the cashiers that they used to hire, as opposed to this automated system, knowing full well that people are still going to be able to still steal a lot more efficiently, as a matter of fact, through the automated process.
Oh, wait till they find out. Fox is watching MAGA rednecks steal all the time from Walmart and shit. Former Representative Annie Levin, D. Mish, who's supporting Al-Sayed, said tying him to Piker, whom Republicans call anti-Semitic, is all a distraction and effort to undermine a campaign that's picking up steam. He's an Egyptian American. If he's a Jewish American, everyone would be pinching his cheek and saying, "Look at this young man," Levin said. Oh, that's funny. Mr. Levin is right, by the way, that so much of this electability posturing is kind of naked racism from people who simply have a different unpopular political agenda and don't want to be honest about it. Yep. Of course, Andy Levin was one of the more, one of the more critical people on the Israel issue, famously at the time, and was punished for it. And it was Haley Stevens, right, who unseated him with a fuck ton of AIPAC money because Andy Levin was, Andy Levin was primaried by Haley Stevens, and they called him a bad Jew. They said like heinous shit about him because he was critical of Israel at the time. So, of course, I think he probably understands better than anybody else what it looks like when you're he knows better than anybody else what it looks like when you are in opposition to Israel. No, I'm not Egyptian. He's Abdul El-Sayed is. This man throwing shade your way? Dude, why the fuck? What the fuck is that clip, dude? I'm not clicking on that shit. Dude, can I ask you guys a serious question? I don't know if you're like being sincere or not, or if you're like trying to start more. Like, serious question. Junior Wapipa, okay? 32-month subscriber. I have every fucking political operative inside of my asshole, okay? Like, they are currently actively prodding my butt cheeks. Why do you want to open up a new front? What do you think this will accomplish? They are trying to gape your boy, okay? They are penetrating me all day, every day. I'm getting free prostate massages with regular frequency. We just watched CNN's Jake Tapper go on a tangent about how I'm a fucking anti-Semite. Why the fuck do you think I should go and watch some other dumb fuck Twitch streamer and what they have to say and then have to deal with that bullshit on top of everything else? Think. Do you think I need to know anytime some fucking Twitch streamer has some thoughts about politics? Do you want me to get fisted more? Anyway, not to be pedantic, but I believe it's called milking. Yeah. Fuck A, we do, pal. Watch the clip, pussy. Okay, I need you to understand something, but you have no power here, chatter, random chatter. Like, coming in here and being like, nah, you got to do it, bitch. Oh, fuck you. All right. Important to remember that AIPAC rat fucked Andy Levin in his race in the past. No, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was saying. Mom, Mima had some thoughts about you. Want the text exchange? Yes. Please. Yeah, Navy Secretary's out, by the way. Statement. Secretary Navy John C. Phelan is departing the admin effective immediately. He was fired. Stop whining. That's the price you pay for fame and fortune, you harmussy. Mark is going to text this Iranian state media clip to Trump. Maduro mocked President Trump. Ali Larijani also mocked President Trump. Maduro is now dead. And Maduro is in a federal penitentiary in New York. And Larijani is dead.
We are having very great negotiations with Iran. If Iran doesn't come to negotiate, we're going to bomb them.
2,000 years later.
So where are the Iranians?
This is from Iran.
Bro, they're farting on us. I swear to God. They're dookie-ing on us, man. They are farting on us. Also, it's funny that Mark Levin thinks that, oh, Trump will get really mad if he sees the IRGC making fun of him. Okay, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do if he gets mad? Put a third blockade on the fucking strait? You know what I mean? What's he gonna do? Because, like, I've tried to explain this before, but even if America were to go and blow up like power plants and shit in Iran, that's not a guarantee that Iran is just going to go, all right, well, you won it now, sir. You've done terrorism, And I guess we have to wave our white flag now. No, they're just going to blow up the Gulf. They're going to destroy the global oil supply. We don't hold the cards. Why do you support Russia if you are Turk and they're literally genociding Bashkir Turks? Never mind Ukrainians. You could at least be consistent in your beliefs. Why do you co-opt the terror and crimes against humanity perpetuated by Western foreign adversaries instead of actually holding oppressors accountable? Okay, you might be mistaken, but I don't support Russia. You might have thought that I'm someone else, maybe, but I don't support Russia. I can't believe I didn't know all that about you. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, now you know. Been hearing a lot. Head small. Been hearing a lot about you being Russia apologists from normies lately. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, I know what that is. Like, it's just people trying to reheat old nachos. They're dusty, but maybe they think I'm like Tim Pool or something. But I mean, this guy gave the game away. He went from "why do you support Russia" to being like, "well, your head's small." Like that's a retreat right there. Yeah, my Crimea position, ladies and gentlemen, is not dissimilar to President Bardock No Bummer. Okay, this guy
and pussy too.
Yeah, so. I was getting a tattoo earlier, and the artist mentioned she listened to Pod Save. I mentioned that my boy Hassan was on there recently, and she said she didn't know who you were before that, but now she likes you and hates Third Way.
Liberal.
That's the wrong one, but it's fine. I was gonna say
pussy too.
Yeah. Are you allowed to watch the RGC taking over a ship in the Hormuz? RGC's Navy released footage of his force seizing a pair of container ships in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. It'll never not be funny that they got those little dinghies, dude. Like the amount of damage that they're able to do with those little dinghies is so funny. Like Trump's like, we've destroyed the Navy, and they're like, no, we just have little go fast boats and jet skis. You know, it's fucking undefeated. Please don't yell at me. I'm trying to help you. Cinephile. 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 Not cinephile. Cinephile. Chris Murphy's nutting his pants right now watching this. He's like, awesome, awesome. This is so fucking awesome. Oh my God. Oh, he loves this. He's the biggest fan of the RGC Navy. The production value is so funny with like all of the music and stuff, and it's just like dudes basically in something a little bit larger than a jet ski overtaking a massive fucking oil tanker or a cargo tanker. What is this? Regarding the Russia support stuff, Progressive Victory is praising Dylan Burns and saying they won't endorse anyone that isn't 100% pro-Ukraine. A lot of libs are thinking anyone not in line with Progressive Voice, Dylan, are Russia apologists now. I don't think Progressive Voice has that kind of motion, and neither does fucking Dylan Burns. Okay? Like, I don't think, and also they're not saying that anyone not endorsed by Progressive Voice is like a Russia apologist. They're not even saying that. Okay? Or are they? I don't know. I haven't been following. I haven't been paying attention. But, you know, I don't care. Yeah, whatever. Okay, they're pro-Ukraine. Oh, I know they don't. But that started after this came up a couple days ago. It's not real anywhere but in chat. No. They endorsed Richie Torres? Who did? No. Progressive Victory endorsed Richie Torres instead of Michael Blake? No. No fucking shot they endorsed Richie Torres. No, there's no way. They probably endorsed Blake. There's no way they would endorse Richie Torres. Are you kidding me? They're like, yeah, there's no fucking shot. Probably a Zoran's recommendation. Yeah, Zoran endorses Richie Torres. Dylan seems to think you're pro-Russia. He has a lack of transparency. Gone a lot easier on you than some of his contemporaries. Yeah, no, I know. He's a sex pest in the orbiter. Their whole thing was like, look, their entire position is like trying to undermine whatever I say and do. And for that reason, I mean, no one really gives a shit. Why should I even talk about this stuff? I don't understand. Cool, we didn't endorse you anyway. Yeah, Jose Vega is a Laroshite. Oh, yeah, Michael Blake. They endorsed Michael Blake. That makes sense. Progressive Victory endorsed Michael Blake, but they also run Track Ukraine, who endorsed Richie Torres. Ew, what the fuck? They linked up with a group that endorsed Richie Torres. That's crazy. Could you say to Zoran to endorse LFI in France? Oh, man. Brother, I can't even get Zoran to endorse. I mean, I haven't even really asked him, if we're being fair, but, you know. I don't think I have that capability, okay? I doubt he's going to make international endorsements. He's not even fucking making endorsements in the United States of America. Are you going to cover local elections in the UK in May? Fuck yeah, dude. My goat, Zach Goat Lansky. Well, his team is helping Zach. It's not his team, okay? It's Morris Katz and Fight Agency. That's not Zoran's team. It's the ad agency that Zoran's team used. They're a great agency. I like them quite a bit. They work with Tom Steyer. They work with, I think they work with Tallarico as well, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that. And now they're also working with the Green Party in the UK. Okay? Tiny boat stopping big boat is kind of impressive. That's funny. Oh, we didn't even finish this.
All right. then I will extend the ceasefire at Pakistan's request.
Vice inside Iran
Tonight,
then and
President
now?
Trump says the United States will blockade the Strait of Hormuz, stepping up pressure on Iran.
Trump said it's highly unlikely that he would extend the truce with Iran before it expires on Wednesday evening.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is gonna be oppy. I haven't seen Vice in a minute. I don't know what they've been up to. I get oppy vibes from the start. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong.
Iran is the biggest.
Oh, never mind. It's oppy. Okay. All right. Well. All right. Oh, I got what I was looking for.
Story in the world. We've been there many times.
We're here in Tehran, and this is the Independence Day parade.
This is Alex Chitty, my old producer. We've been all over the world, but a lot in Iran.
Is this the largest mosque in Tehran?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very busy.
Thousands, tens of thousands.
A lot's happening in Iran right now.
In less than 3 hours, the U.S. will begin enforcing a naval blockade on the Strait of Hormuz after peace talks with Iran fell through after 21 hours over the weekend.
We have the Grand Ayatollah gone, bombers bombing Tehran. And
You should watch Israelism by Vice if you haven't already. Israelism was produced by Vice. I have watched Israelism. I've literally interviewed Zimmerman on the broadcast. I've had her on.
Oil and military installations.
Drones going both ways.
Drones, asymmetrical warfare.
This guy used to be my boss. I mean, he was Noah's boss too. He was the boss of many.
Seen in the Ukraine, now seen in Iran to great effect. Propaganda on both sides as well.
Shane Smith is not the Nazi one. It was Gavin McGinnis. Gavin McGinnis is the Nazi one that left Vice and became a total Nazi. Shane Smith, I'm not super fond of either. I've always regarded him as a bit of a charlatan. And I say this as someone who used to be a big fan of Vice, like when they would do the gonzo journalism, like the drug documentaries and stuff like that. But I mean, Vice became a behemoth, a media giant, a asset that was unbelievably overvalued, and in that process, it just got it got sucked into the State Department media contingency.
They ordered you to die for Israel. They broke their word, they broke their promise.
And so we're going to do Iran because it's in the news and we've been a lot together. This is Alex Chitty, and this is Inside Vice. And here we go. You ready? Iran. Inside Iran. Bango. This show is about going.
Yeah, New York Times reporter David Carr yelling at Vice and Shane Smith during the interview is a classic. Yeah, where he's like, You think we don't have journalists in these countries? Are you out of your mind? No, not RFK. Here, let's play the clip. I thought it was CNN, not New York Times. But I guess, oh, it is, yeah. Page 1, David Carr confronts Vice. For his weekly column, David.
Hi, I'm looking for Alex. Okay. Hi.
This is David Carr from the New York Times.
Don't keep saying I'm from the New York Times. That sucks. I'm just.
All right.
It's me.
David, it's nice to meet you from
Hi, David.
Very nice to meet you.
Hi. Nice to meet you. How are you?
We wanted to get everyone together to do a company-wide update
The media landscape is changing in really dramatic ways in just 6 months. So print as an industry and a medium continues to nosedive. Publications like Newsweek and
We had an inside joke when I was working at TYT that I came up with where we would just like put together insane headlines and then go Vice. And like if we, the more pretentious of a headline you could put together, like we butt chugged methamphetamines in the sewers of Venezuela, Vice, and then like they literally turned that into a bit. Like Bill Hader and Fred Armisen did the drones bit, and it was one of the best things. It was one of the best things that came out of this this like mockumentary thing that they did. Yeah, just crazy fucking commas everywhere.
Back to our greatest hits or things that we like.
Oh, here, this is the
times are going down fast. We like to say that we're perfectly positioned.
Not only are the sort of biggest media companies wanting to come talk to us, but the biggest brands are wanting to come talk to us and give us money. And what we have to do is we have to figure out how we can be meaner, faster, and more dynamic than everybody out there. And we don't want to get hot and die, we want to get hot and get hotter.
You asked the question about is there a business model that, like,
I want you to just act up.
Yeah.
I want you to feel me on this. I don't do corporate portraiture. What the fuck is going on that you're doing business with CNN?
We know how to speak to young people. They're listening to us. We're a trusted brand for them. I mean, the first thing that CNN said when they walked into the meeting last summer was 49-year-olds are watching CNN right now, and we're fucked. Right. Can you please help us develop a new, young audience for the future? They like the way you tell stories. They like your hosts. They like where you go. That's really what they came looking for.
So what kind of war is this? Gorilla? World War II. It's World War III.
I don't know Liberia. I don't know what's going on. I don't pretend to. I'm not going there for a news thing, reporting on a particular news story. I'm not there to solve the problems of the world. I'm just a regular guy. I didn't get flown in on a thing. I don't have security. I don't have anything. And I've been to some places. This is fucking insane.
The people here don't have toilets, and because they have no toilets, they use the fish.
If you're a CNN viewer and you go, I'm looking at human shit on the beach.
I've got to tell you one thing. I'm a regular guy, and I go to these places and I go, okay, everyone talked to me about cannibalism, right? Everyone talked about cannibalism. Now I'm getting a lot of shit for saying what cannibalism and stuff, whatever. Everyone talking about cannibalism.
Yeah, most of my boys.
Yeah.
Then we drain the blood from the innocent child and drink it before going to battle.
So you kill the child?
Yes.
And then drink the blood?
Yeah. I left it up on a chopper. I'm gonna eat it.
That's fucking crazy. So the actual our audience goes, that's fucking insane. Like that's nuts. And the New York Times, meanwhile, is writing about surfing. And I'm sitting there going, you know what? I'm not going to talk about surfing. I'm going to talk about cannibalism.
Look at how angrily he's typing.
Because that fucks me up.
Just a sec, time out. Before you ever went there, we've had reporters there reporting on genocide after genocide. Just because you put on a fucking safari helmet and looked at some poop doesn't give you the right to insult what we do. So continue.
That was the best. So the real here's the problem. Okay. Shane Smith doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Of course the goddamn New York Times was there. Right? Of course the goddamn New York Times has been there. The real criticism of the New York Times isn't that they're not there or that they don't have a desk in Africa or whatever. Of course they do. You have to be a real moron to not realize that. And they have some legendary reporters on these different beats as well. The real criticism of the New York Times is that they sometimes undermine their own real reporting because they have a higher priority to do the bidding of the State Department. But because Shane Smith also was trying to sell his fucking multi-billion-dollar Vice over inflated media asset to the exact same forces, he doesn't have that kind of media criticism because he doesn't know that that is the actual media criticism against the New York Times. Anyway. Oh my God, Blue Sky's melting down about you wanting to steal from the lure. Oh God. Dude, I don't care, man. I don't fucking care. I don't care. Please, you don't have to tell me every time, like, what's Tumblr saying, dude? What's Tumblr's take? What's Tubi's take? What's Queeby saying? Can we get an opinion of Queeby? Can we hear from Queeby, please? Is there a take from Pinterest? Can I hear a take from Pinterest? Is Pinterest mad at me too? Oh, God damn, dude. Every fucking day with this shit. Holy fuck.
Or our old Vice hits, Vice News hits, and going back to the people that made them and talking about them. We just did North Korea with Jake, which was funny because Kim Jong-un showed up and they got wasted. You've done a lot.
We're in the thick of it now. These kids are making Molotov cocktails.
We're here in Kim Il-sung Square. You can hear a pin drop. Everyone's waiting for the marshal to arrive.
Every part of a private life today is found on someone's phone. We used to say a man's home is his castle. Today, a man's phone is his castle.
You did a lot of stuff with me, with Sarouche. So this is that show. It's called Inside Vice. I wanted to call it Don't Look Back in Anger, but then Tim, who's editing this, said I can't do that because people would look back in anger. But it was like, don't look back in anger, I heard you say. And then we could just be like, we were getting shot at here in Vietnam. Anyway, we've been all around the world together, and we were going to start doing this in Venezuela, but someone was too tired.
I can't imagine who that might have been.
But if we can do it tied to the news cycle, we do.
You're supposed to be in the...
Complain about Nonce.x while also empowering them by using the platform and shitting on the alternative. Oh my God. Okay, dude, you're the most moral, okay? Hey, everyone. Can we clap? Clap for the most moral social media platform user. Thank you. I'm sorry that every international reporter that I lean on for my commentary happens to be on the fucking Nazi platform. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay? What do you want me to fucking do? Oh my God, we get it. You're moral and I am immoral. I'm an immoral guy, okay? I'm a bad guy. I'm probably a fucking Nazi for being on Twitter still. Oh.
Midst of a ceasefire between Iran, Israel, and the United States, but we are heading now toward yet another escalation.
48 hours before the talks commenced, there was talk of wiping out civilizations.
The big one that I just watched was when we went to the reactors, and we got invited there. And the Republican guards kept throwing us out of our hotel room at night because they didn't enjoy us as human beings. And we went to the reactors with the Ayatollah, Grand Ayatollah, looking at us as we went in. It was terrifying. I have radiophobia.
This is the research reactor. The blue is because of the Cherenkov radiation.
So it's radioactive. So we're going to stand away from it. I am anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks about the Iranian nuclear program as this very big and scary and serious thing, which of course it is. But when we were touring that research reactor, which by the way was donated by America, I believe.
Yeah, Atoms for Peace. I mean, you can't make it up.
You studied at MIT, and I believe this reactor came from America.
Yes.
I think a lot of Americans would be surprised about that. So this reactor here was the birthplace of the Iranian nuclear program.
This is only one of 10 sites we have. This is the eldest. The fuel initially was about more than 90% supplied by the American.
We sort of got a sense of which parts of the Iranian nuclear program are kind of jerry-rigged, because when you go in, it's like a clean room and you can't bring any dust in, and you have to wear little booties on your feet, and you have to wear a hairnet. But they were out of hairnets. So the sinister Iranian nuclear scientist was showing us around very solemnly, took a booty and put it on his head. So he was showing us around with a little booty on his head.
Yes, I remember it being very janky. And they're like, here, you want to see our reactor? Here it is. And it's like, oh, we gave it to you in like 1958 or something. They kept it sort of pristine, except they had a lot of pictures.
Iran, if he wants to go toward weapon, we don't have difficulties because once you can fabricate fuel, you can make it.
It was very freaky. It was a very freaky reactor, a very freaky shoot. And I mean, I love Tehran, as we said, because everybody there has either relatives here in LA or in London, and they have satellites. So they know, it's sort of cosmopolitan in a weird way. And a lot of the Arab countries.
Why is that fucking weird, man? I can't watch this. I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad all over again. You understand why I'm frustrated? This is a guy who got like the world delivered to him, and he had the opportunity to make something great. Vice was pretty cool initially, and they took that cool status. They took that the cool status into you know, $1 billion media property. They got billions of dollars. He exited the company. He made a fuck ton. He's 100 millionaire. And it's such a waste. Like, it was such a massive fucking waste. And yeah, when you hear the way he talks about these things, even though he has literally traveled around the world, he's gone to like Caracas, he's gone to fucking Tehran as he calls it. Like you hear the way he talks about these places, and you're like, how is this the guy? Like, how is this the fucking guy who was in charge of all this?
Go there because of plastic surgery, and they have parties and events and that and stuff, but like the protesting is nonstop.
The emotions are really ramping up here now. All of Trump's recent rhetoric has really increased the anti-American sentiment in Iran right now.
The mosque. Protesters burning an effigy and down with the USA, which is on every building and stuff. It's sort of become just commonplace. Oh, death to Israel, death to the Jews. You know, let's eat kind of thing.
Burning of the flags, stomping on the American flag, effigies, just anti-American sentiment at a fever pitch intensity. Why are you here today?
There was a lot of protesting against America, but they were saying we like Americans, we don't like the regime, which is what we say about Iranians.
Government of the America, they are all claiming Iran's people are terrorists, but you're not terrorists, you're friendly. They are enemy of.
Ain't no fucking way did I just see that. Wait, hold on.
Iran's people are terrorists, but you're not terrorists.
Bro, they got the PSL signs, dude. No shot. No shot. They're in fucking Tehran with the PSL signs, bro. Look at that. It's so close to the PSL font. Oh my God. Oh my God. Answer Coalition, PSL, Code Pink, PSL Tehran. Oh my God. People of the world know hashtag Black Lives Matter. Why doesn't the USA regime? I mean, that part is normal. I've told you guys about this before. Everyone in that side of the world is very tuned into American domestic affairs. And they will regularly criticize like white supremacy, all this stuff. I mean, Erdogan came out and had some choice words for the American regime. You know? I just watched Hassan's debate with Ethan from a year ago. Holy shit, that was bad. What is happening? Why are there more people watching the Ethan Klein debate from a year ago right now? Why is that gaining traction? You're the second chatter that's come in to say that. No, I'm not going to ban that person. Calm down. Why would I ban that person? That person is probably saying it was bad because fucking Ethan sounded like an insane person.
Friendly.
They are enemy of government of America.
Right.
We have no problem with people of America. We like them.
I always have a weird time in Iran. And you were like, yeah, it's one of my favorite places to go. Why?
It's one of my favorite places because, as you say, it's so cosmopolitan. There's a huge, as you touched on, there's a huge difference between the views of what, between the regime's official line that was on the street, death to America, death to Israel, and what the average, regular, certainly Tehrani thinks, which is typically ambivalent or even pro-America, even some even pro-Israel, which is amazing. And just the discord between those two things creates a very interesting world, a sort of a secretive underground world. As you've said, like, we've been to parties there. We've been to dinner parties and, I mean, places where people are drinking wine, which gets delivered as if it's by a drug dealer. And that feels very urbane and also kind of clandestine and exciting. And it's not exciting if you live there and you have to order wine from a guy who comes and delivers it.
Yeah, people talk to me about that and they're like, well, why isn't the regime changed? Two things. Whenever you're in Iran, they're like, look, we're going to change the regime. Just don't bomb us or don't attack us because then we'll unite. A. B, they are protesting and there is sort of a nudge trying to be given there because I would say it's in Tehran anyway, it's probably about 80-20 against. But then you have the Revolutionary Guards, and because there's been so many sanctions for so long, they're kind of, the mafia and they control everything and the money and the currency and all that stuff. And they have all the guns. So they're not going, because if there's a regime change, they're all in trouble. So they're not going anywhere. And so therefore, you have unarmed people have to fight heavily armed people. It's just not going to work.
It's not going to work. And now the government is more entrenched, more radicalized, and there's not, the protests that have happened over the last, since 2009, intermittently from 2009 till...
The government controls the currency? I can't believe it. I mean, he meant the IRGC, but, you're not wrong. Yeah, that's true, man. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff.
Till January this year, when this war ends, when do they come back? I don't know, but I know that the security state, the government, the IRGC, which is sort of parallel and a bit off, now they're ready. They've broken into cells. I think they call it like the mosaic system. They're autonomous. Like, they're a lot more dangerous now.
And what are some of your favorite things about Iran shooting there or getting stories, and what are some of your least favorite?
One of my favorites is when...
Are they in a different room at different times throughout the day? How do they shoot this? It looks so strange. Like,
when we bumped into the head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Salami, and I kind of did my producer thing. I ran into the crowd and I kind of went to the front. I grabbed our fixer and I said, ask him for an interview. We want to do just a quick stand-up interview in the street, as you know we do. Our fixer turned to him and said, Vice News, USA, Vice News. He's from the USA. And the head of the IRGC, who, by the way, was assassinated by Mossad last year.
Israel strikes on targets inside Iran and also on Iranians' military leaderships, the most important of which is Hossein Salami, who is the head of the elite wing of Iran's military.
Looked at me, then turned to our fixer and said in Persian, what I'm sure is some kind of Persian saying.
He said the dog is the brother of the fox, then walked away.
Seriously?
The Straits of Hormuz is in the news every day.
Should we go for a swim?
Yeah. What's up? Nice try.
You guys went swimming and driving around and talking about it and whatever, which we'll show some footage of.
So Iran is, with the current sanctions, Iran is banned from trading oil with anyone. But
he still lives in Iran, by the way. What's his name? Suresh. Wasn't he literally doing reporting from Iran for the French, both CNN and also for a French.
From the amount of tankers you see, wherever you see red lines on the tankers, that means that they are empty and that oil has been dropped off. So
yeah,
there's
France
a lot
24 and CNN too. He still does reporting.
Oil trading hands, and the Revolutionary Guard and that kind of naval warship right there is going around and patrolling. So Iran has made it very clear that regardless of sanctions, they will not stop selling oil to whoever wants to buy oil from them.
It was weird and fun to swim in the Strait of Hormuz. We could see IRGC vessels. We could see oil transiting the Strait of Hormuz, contrary to sanctions.
Vice News goes to the centers of massive geopolitical conflict, just hangs out and learns nothing. The P is the brother of the poo. Jesus. Good take. Good take, chatter. For me, like I fully checked out of them when I saw them doing coverage on the famine and the blockades in Yemen, and they were literally talking about how it's a necessity because the Ansar Allah are fucking violent monsters that do child slavery and all this shit. That's when I was like, oh, I know what the fuck this is. I don't even know if they got like bought out by the Saudis or one of the Gulf states. I'm sure they probably played a role in the purchase agreement, but that was when I was like, oh, I see what's going on. I see what the fuck y'all are doing.
That was super interesting. We were like, this is so busy. It's so congested.
It's an international incident waiting to happen.
It's just obvious. And then you're so close to another whole other universe. Like, once you're on the other side of the Persian Gulf, it's just another world.
It's malls and Four Seasons and
Shake Shack is right fucking there. And of course, it's unbelievably vulnerable. It's like the DMZ in Korea. Like, it's like, which no one thinks, but except you're driving a fifth of the world's commerce through it, which, by the way, is more than a fifth, because that's like cutting off your leg and saying, oh, it's a fifth of your body. The system is broken.
I would also much rather go to Tehran than Dubai, like 100%.
Because that weird little patch of ocean is blocked.
So on one of the trips we went there, it's the anniversary of the revolution. They like to have you come. There's parades and things. And they parade out like missiles and ballistic missiles. Is actually what we're seeing today.
They're trotting out new missile systems. There's drone systems over there. We're going to see what's happening here.
And one of the things they paraded around were all the drones, their drone technology, their drone capabilities, which are in the news every day and has changed sort of warfare. And we got to see it. I think also, like, yes, Straits of Hormuz, like when you go there, you're like, oh, this is all of the world's oil going through one tiny thing. Do you think that what we're seeing today in the news every day was on parade for years before?
That's what I think you learn a lot of the time with extremists is when they say what they're going to do, believe them, because they often just do it. And they told us this was going to happen. It was obvious this was going to happen. I'm sure Trump was told that it was going to happen. I'm sure he calculated it, that he would be able to proceed anyway. But yeah, it was unbelievably vulnerable.
Yeah, we were there shooting, and there's just drones. And they're like, here's our drones. We can send thousands and thousands and thousands of these at you guys.
Exactly the same point. Yeah, they're like, here are super cheap drones that we made. By the way, that's the amazing thing about Iran, a bit like North Korea, a bit like Cuba, Venezuela, Syria, is how sanctions force ingenuity on people. So like in Iran, half the cars you see driving around, they're Peugeots, supposedly, but they're made in Iran. They make their own cars. And they make drones that cost $3,000. Do you remember when Netanyahu showed us
Shahid?
That's the Iranian drone we shot down. It's got a wing here, fixed wing here.
So this was an Iranian drone sent over Golan Heights. Right. You shot it down. They then sent missiles and artillery to attack you on Golan Heights, and then you. Right. So this was the start of everything.
That was it. That was it. And you see it. The center was blown out by our interception, but these are the parts that come from the center. And I think it's the first time that we're showing this.
Yeah, it's the first time.
But that was the first time that one had ever been shown on camera. That was in the...
Yeah. There you go. Dare I say more? Liberal Hitler. I mean, I don't think you can call Benjamin Netanyahu a liberal. Let's be real.
It was the Israeli Defense Force had shot down Shahid drones that were trying to go into Israel and bomb in there, and we went.
Yeah, we butt chuck cocaine with modern reincarnation of Adolf Hitler,
and we're the first ones to see them.
And now the U.S. Army have reverse engineered that same drone.
The Lucas drone, low-cost unmanned combat attack system.
And yeah, that's the first time the U.S. military has reverse engineered an enemy's technology since I think the 1950s when they reverse engineered some bridge.
Okay, so to finish off Iran, favorite thing that you ever did there, or favorite memory of it, and least favorite?
Food. Definitely very good food. I like a lot. My other favorite thing was meeting the metal band, Chaos Descent, in Iran, in Tehran. It was one of my favorite interviews I've ever worked on because they were so candid.
We have a situation here, new generation is so depressed.
people do not act about their situation, about to change the situation. They just sit and watch the whole happening in the country.
Right.
But do nothing.
You could leave. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only option.
Right.
And they were just fucking awesome. And I still talk to them on Instagram, and they're still there. They're just great. One of the scarier parts was when we were in our hotel and we were looking down on Evin prison. That's one of the most feared prisons in the world. And, you know, the government minders, they don't say, don't fuck around or you'll end up in there, but that's kind of the subtext. And they say, look, here it is.
The thing is, we've spoken to so many people who have a lot of fear, and what they're afraid of is ending up in that prison over there, which is where all the political prisoners are sent. It's called Evin. It's kind of the legendary, terrifying place that nobody wants to end up.
One of the things they do when you go to Tehran the first time is they take you on that mountain that's in the middle of Tehran, and they take you up, and they have the birds that pick your fortune, and they have tea, and then you have lunch, sultani kebabs, and it's very pleasant and bucolic. And then they're like, by the way, the political prison is under this mountain, so if you do anything wrong, that's where you're going. It's a sort of, we did this whole afternoon just to let you know that we're gonna put you in jail if you do something wrong.
It's a fucking joke, man. Like, they're not gonna send Americans to the fucking dissident prison. Jesus Christ.
And we were talking about trying to get in and shoot this time. And so we were gonna go, you and I were gonna go shoot, and we had visas and accepted and everything, but then they kept shutting down the airspace. But I thought,
it's like if someone were to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna put you in Guantanamo Bay. Like, it's not, that's not gonna happen.
I think what people realize is if you always have minders with you, and if you go off script or off piste, as I say, the people that you're with can be jailed or worse. And if you interview people, or the people who are helping you or your fixers, they are in danger. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
In a lot of the places where we filmed, the fixers, the local producers, are the ones who are exposed to risk over long periods of time.
They're heroes. They're
complete heroes. If you look at Iran, there's not our usual producers, but someone I've been talking to recently. You know, you asked about protests, right? Trump, when he attacked this time, and Netanyahu called on the people of Iran to rise up, which they were kind of in the process of doing before this war. By prosecuting this war, America's made that 100 times more difficult, because the people that I've talked to on the ground there recently say now, right now, today, last night, every day, the Basiji, the kind of local paramilitary youth groups, are roaming the streets with megaphones saying, stay in your houses, stay in your houses. But you can't leave to organize. You can't, and even if you could, it's not like in Venezuela where people know where the organs of the state are. People don't even know where to go. So if you get 100,000 people in a square in Tehran, which you can't, if you could, you wouldn't know what to do anyway. You wouldn't know where to go. And then the IRGC would come and kill you, which is what happened earlier this year.
In Iran, the death toll surging as the Islamic Republic tries to crush the spreading protests.
Last question. What do you think happens in the next 6 months to a year in Iran?
I think that the best case scenario is a de-escalation of the war and then some sort of Iranian control over the Strait of Hormuz ongoing.
The biggest moves over the last few days has been the U.S. imposing the blockade and then boarding an Iranian ship after firing on it.
Because it's so fucking easy. You just have to take out one container ship a month, and then that's it, and you can't go through it. And then the worst case scenario is a bad one.
War just continues, and energy collapses, and the economy collapses, and we're all in trouble.
It's a bit World War III-ish.
Yeah.
I don't think it's World War III, but wars, if you read, like, you know, some of the stuff from, you know, pre-World War I, there was a lot of the same discourse about Europe is now civilized. We have little wars, we don't have big wars. Complete bullshit, obviously.
Right. We don't know where it's going to end. We hope it ends positively, or at least quickly, and it doesn't get dragged out and become a catalyst like Sarajevo.
Feels like old school Vice. We got Iran Vice for GTA 6. This is better Vice. Dog is the brother of the Fox City baller. Way to dismiss someone. No shot. This isn't on the laptop. Expose yourself. What the fuck is this?
Those questions.
Oh, come on,
What's
dude.
wrong with you, Mom?
That's good. No. Thank you for showing a spotlight on my local Albanian family struggling restaurant. 100% American Turk. Why can't we call it Virtue News instead? You nailed this social interaction. Which one?
Pardon me, could I have a moment? My name is Hassan Piker.
Hello, Quirk, genuinely. Hello there, Hassan Piker.
What the fuck is this game, bro? What is... I see people making me in this game all the time. What is it called? Tamagotchi or something?
Charlie Quirk.
So, you leave the charcoal with the Grimby. Oh, he trackled the shell with him. Yeah. Frontier for burning. Short B. Yeah. Tidwanda.
Island, right. Oh. Blue. Hafta. Stamby. Spanchafilla. Pringle checks demand. Yes, Cerrone.
Tomodachi Life is Nintendo's The Sims game?
Spanchafilla. Pardon me.
Only real gamers play it? Okay. Tomodachi Life.